morning. We're going to wait a few minutes and wait on everybody to join us. Then we'll start our morning song here. Never been to John C. Campbell Folk School. It's a pretty amazing experience, and they do a morning program every morning before the classes start. It's a little hard on some of the musicians. Like me, I'm more of a night owl than a morning person, so we'll get it done. This guitar that I'm playing is a 900, and they're not common, but I wouldn't call them extremely rare, but they're not too common. But it's a wonderful old guitar, and it was went through 3 people before it got to me. So. People are out there, you can comment and say hi. If she's sitting there, she can relay the message to me. And I've got a cat at my feet that you all can't see. She'll probably be in the shot at some point. She's not paying much attention to any of this. I'm in Rural Retreat, Virginia. And we're just recovering from our first little snow and cold snap, so we've had beautiful weather up till now, and it hit with a vengeance. You can see the cat now, right? Yeah, I like. You know, when you're doing morning song that's folk song or folk school, there's always in and out. So we're going to give the stragglers a minute. My camera. What people are doing that. I think we're having some transmission problems. Hopefully that'll go away.
I think I fixed it.
Hope everybody's having a good cup of coffee or whatever you drink. I've got tea here. And immediately following this broadcast, I'm going to go down to the restaurant and get a ham biscuit. None of them are watching, I'll guarantee it, so they won't have any warning. I'll just go down and get it. Someone's waiting. Thank you for tuning in and waiting. We got just a few minutes left and we'll get started. Thank you for the waves. We are broadcasting live from Rural Retreat, Virginia, and the highest point on Norfolk and Western Railway. We're about 30 miles from the highest mountain in the state of Virginia, so we're pretty good ways up. I think we're about 27,000 feet here. And the mornings are just gorgeous. I don't get up too often to see them, but I did this morning. I'm waiting on the clock to strike, and then we'll head on. I don't know if you guys can see the clock. We've got a mantle clock here. This is my living room. Or this is my wife's living room. She lets me live here. Ah, there it is. Well, we'll start with a wake-up song. They're all wake-up songs. This is Blue Ridge Mountain Blues. I left my home in Carolina. Now all I do is sit and pine for all those folks I left behind. I've got them Blue Ridge Mountain Blues, and I'll stand right here and I'll say, my grip is packed to travel, and I'm scratching ground for my Blue Ridge home far away. gonna stand right by my pa. Just sit around the cabin door. No work or worries anymore. I got the Blue Ridge Mountain Blues. And I'll stand right here and I'll say, my grip is packed to travel, and I'm scratching gravel for my Blue Ridge home far away. I see a window with a light. I see two heads of snowy white. To me they both seem to recite, where is my wandering boy tonight? I've got the Blue Ridge Mountain Blues. And I'll stand right here and I'll say, my grip is packed to travel, and I'm scratching around my Blue Ridge hills far away. My grip is packed to travel, and I'm scratching around my Blue Ridge hills far away. I think I hear applause. I'm psychically connected in the universe, so we're hearing it. Let's see, I want to do an old blues tune too this morning. I like the blues. We were discussing this yesterday. I'm in the barber shop here in Rural Retreat, so right now a lot of people are probably waiting on me to get down there and cut their hair. I usually don't open until 9, but the blues versus country music. The country music guys, when their woman leaves them, it's over. Life ceases to exist. They're never going to get better. It's just horrible. And the blues guys are like, well, she's gone. I feel bad, but I'm going to drink a little bit, then it'll be over. It'll be all right. So I try to have that type of attitude, especially in the times we're going through now. We're going to get through it eventually. This is called Deep Ellum Blues. If you go down on Deep Ellum just to have a little fun, better have your $15 when the policemen come. Oh, sweet mama, that's got them Deep Ellum blues. Oh, sweet mama, that has got them Deep Ellum blues. I had a little girlfriend, Sweet Mary was her name. She went down on Deep Ellum and she's never been the same. Oh, sweet mama, that's got them Deep Ellum blues. Oh, sweet mama, that has got them Deep Ellum blues. If you go down on Deep Ellum, keep your carburetor clean, 'cause the girls down on Deep Ellum sell you dirty gasoline. Oh, sweet mama, that's got the Deep Ellum blues. Oh, sweet mama, that has got them Deep Ellum blues. I knew a preacher man, he preached the Bible through and through. He went down on Deep Ellum, now his preaching days are through. Oh, sweet mama, that's got them Deep Ellum blues. Oh, sweet mama, that has got them Deep Ellum blues. just to have a little fun. Better have your $15 when the policemen come. Oh, sweet mama, daddy's got them deep Ellen blues. Oh, sweet mama, daddy's got them deep Ellen blues. Thank you. When we started this, I've done about 5 internet concerts, I guess, and a couple of morning songs now, and it's hard to get used to. And think about a lot of the old radio shows where they did this sort of thing and you could have no feedback unless somebody called the radio station. I barely remember those days. I did a few of those, but it's really interesting to get used to this again. Thank you for the hand claps there. My wife / cameraman's telling me what's going on. This is a banjo, the most deadly weapon known to man. This one is this is a 1928 Gibson. This is my favorite. You guys can't see it, but I've got a bunch of banjos around here. I don't really know how many I have, but this is my favorite. And we're going to do a song that expresses my feelings about the banjo. This is called Banjo Am the Instrument for Me. I like the piano, I like the fiddle too. The guitar makes the music mighty sweet. But when I hear the banjo, my heart is bright and free. Oh, the banjo am the instrument for me. Well, let me hear the banjo. I like that old 5-string melody. It makes me feel so happy. My heart's so bright and free. Oh, the banjo am the instrument for me. I used to court the ladies and play on the old banjo. They'd gather around me happy as can be. That's why the cute one liked me. One night she told me so. Oh, the banjo am the instrument for me. Well, let me hear the banjo. I like that good old 5-string melody. It makes me feel so happy. My heart's so bright and free. Oh, the banjo am the instrument for me. Now older people, grandchildren by the score, and every night they sit upon my knee. That's why I scoot over just to make the room. Oh, the banjo am the instrument for me. Well, let me hear the banjo. I like that good old 5-string melody. It makes me feel so happy. My heart's so bright and free. Oh, the banjo am the instrument for me. Thank you. I was thinking about this the other day. I had, this is a long time ago, down in Roanoke, Virginia. They had an organization, well, they still have it, called the Fiddle and Banjo Club. And they had it in the Civic Center in Roanoke. There would be 5,000 people in that thing. And a friend of mine standing backstage had a banjo like this. And, you know, they're pretty loud. And the guys on stage were playing. And like I say, there's 4,000 or 5,000 people in the audience. And the guitar player announced that he asked the audience if they'd like to hear some clawhammer banjo. And the audience went wild, you know, and he says, okay, I'll be back in just a second. He ran off stage and ran to my buddy there, and he says, can I borrow your banjo? The guy said, sure. So he puts it around his neck, walks right straight back out on stage. And he said, all right, let's hit it. And he started playing, and he played that thing just as hard as he could. The first 3 rows in the Civic Center went like that. Looked like they'd been smacked. And about halfway through the song, he says, can you hear me out there? Which, with a really loud banjo, that's it was something else. The whole audience looked like they'd been smacked at that point. We're going to do a kind of a lost love song. This is from a musician's standpoint. A lot of people will lose a love interest to, like if you're in high school and you're a chess player, you'll lose a love interest to a football player. Well, this is the musician's version, or the banjo's version. The banjo loses his love to a trombone player. I thought I'd go insane, but the man who played the trombone so well won the heart of my Sarah Jane with his toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. It was what he played on his horn. Oh, toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. Lord, he played it from midnight till morning, and beautiful music he made. I don't mind telling you, he won the heart of my Sarah Jane with his toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. We'd gone together for over 2 years. I thought I'd won her heart, but when she heard that trombone play, from me she sure did depart with his toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. It was what he played on his horn. Oh, toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. It was all night till morning, and beautiful music he made. I don't mind telling you, he won the heart of my Sarah Jane with his toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. I can win the affections of most any girl, wherever I may roam. But singing and playing the banjo alone can't outdo a trombone with his toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. It was what he played on his horn. Oh, toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. He played it from midnight till morning, and beautiful music he made. I don't mind telling you, he won the heart of my Sarah Jane with his toodle-um, toodle-um, toodle. Thank you. I'm sure my cameraman keeps telling me there's people waving and clapping, so really appreciate that. This early in the morning, it's hard, I know. Well, I want to switch back to the guitar a little bit. Get my pick here. Well, we'll do another Lost Love song. This is the normal person's version instead of the banjo players. I first heard this song, and most people do it pretty upbeat. And it's now 8 o'clock. If you're getting ready for work, you better hurry. I heard the guys do this. Hilo Brown, I think, was the first guy I heard do it. And they did it fast, and I always thought it was kind of a blues, so I slowed it down. This is called Handsome Molly. I wish I was in London, some other seaport town. I'd set my foot on a steamboat and I'd sail the ocean round. Sailing around the ocean, sailing around the sea. I'd think of Handsome Molly wherever she may be. Sunday passed me on the by. I could tell her mind was changing by the roving of her eye. Sailing around the ocean, sailing around the sea, I think of handsome Molly wherever she may be. Don't you remember, Molly? You gave me your right hand, said if you'd ever marry that I'd be your man. Sailing around the ocean, sailing around the sea, I think of handsome Molly wherever she may be. Black as a raven, her eyes were black as coal, her cheeks were like the lilies out in the morning grown. Sailing around the ocean, sailing around the sea, I think of handsome Molly wherever she may be. That's all right, Molly, go on, love who you please. Why my poor heart's aching, you're lying at your ease. Sailing around the ocean, sailing around the sea, I think of handsome Molly wherever she may be. I wish I was in London, some other seaport town. I'd set my foot on a steamboat and I'd sail the ocean around. Good song to start off a morning with. Let's see. The folk school asked me to do this, and always try to support them. I've been teaching down there almost 20 years, I guess, and it's a wonderful experience. Those of y'all have been there know it. Those of y'all that ain't been there, I'd highly suggest you go, because they teach everything from blacksmithing to guitar, banjo, all kinds of stuff. And you know, in this time they're having financial problems just like the rest of us. The musicians community, they're all struggling. So if you feel moved to donate, please do. They could use it. Like I say, it was founded, I guess, back in the 20s, and or maybe before that. I think they were looking even before that. But the history of the school is quite amazing. You can check it out on their website. I've had a wonderful time every time I've been down there, and the food is unbelievable. I'll talk about the one industry that China has never tried to take from us, and I don't think they can. The Japanese, they just don't understand it. And I live in rural retreat where the sun shines in the attic and the moon shines in the basement, which is what this song is about. If anybody's ever tried to make wine or distill alcohol or beer or any of that, you know it can be a dangerous thing. Things can blow up. So that's what this song's about. This is called Hiram's Homemade Beer. Now I was just a boy at the time when this drinking Uncle Hiram of mine decided he'd make up a batch of homemade beer. Don't tell a soul, he said to me, but I've come across this recipe that says for pennies a day I can drink all year. So I searched the alleys behind the bars for empty jugs and mason jars and sneaked them down to his basement brewery. He measured out yeast and sugar, then hops, and said to me as we sealed the tops, "For goodness sakes, don't you tell your Aunt Marie." Or she'd say, "Hey, look, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go back to your sewing, hon, I'm varnishing a chair. Time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer. We let her sit about a month or so, then me and Uncle sneaked down below and figured it was time to give her a try. I was standing there at the foot of the stairs, and Uncle Hiram was checking the wares when all of a sudden 2 bottles just blew sky high. Well, the jars went clash, the lids went thunk, and Uncle Hiram dived behind the trunk. As beer began to spew out on the floor, he yelled out, "Don't mind me, save yourself." So as fast as I could, I ran up the steps, and out of breath, I quickly slammed the door. Aunt Marie came crying, "What is it, dear?" I said, "It's Uncle's homemade beer. It's blowing up and got Uncle trapped down there." She said, "Beer, beer." Well, I declared, "Hiram, you come up out of there." But the sound of exploding beer was all we could hear. "Hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go back to your sewing, hun, I'm varnishing a chair." Time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer. It sounded like a war for a day and a night, and bottles just blew up left and right, till finally we just heard one here and there. Aunt Marie took a comforter and held it up in front of her, and together we descended the basement stairs. The place was a mess, to say the least. The walls were sticky and smelled like yeast. The beer in the jars and the lids lay all around. There had been quite a battle, there was no doubt, but when we began to look about, Uncle Hiram was nowhere to be found. Aunt Marie cried out, "Hiram, poor dear, you've been killed by a jar of beer. I warned you to drink, but you never listened to me." Then up came the lid on the antique trunk. There, soaked in beer wine, running drunk, was the late lamented love of Aunt Marie. He said I couldn't see it all go to waste. Decided I might as well have a little taste. I've tasted 156 jars of beer. You all can go on, because I'm going to stay right here. Hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go back to your sewing, hun, I'm varnishing a chair. Time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer. It can be dangerous. Now, I've been told. I don't know that firsthand. You know, when you're doing this type of music in Virginia, you are required by state law to do a ghost song and a train song. So we're going to combine both of those and do one with one whack. This is by Justin Town Earl, who, several months ago died. Really great songwriter. Steve Earle, who did Copperhead Road, was his dad. But I recorded this even, got his permission, and sad loss. But his memory lives on, the legacy of his song. So this is this is called Ghost of Virginia. Well, she comes out at night with the cold winds of December. When it's quiet, you can hear her engines cry. Smoke pours out her wheels and her gears pound the steel as they carry her on down the line. I'm sure you've heard stories, as most of us have, at the lunch counter and barbershop queues. She's the ghost of Virginia, running from Raleigh to Richmond, and she runs by the light of the moon. A few years back on the old Suffolk Road, where it crosses the abandoned rail line, my grandpa swore that he saw a freight train, and it wasn't no sleek streamline. She was cold, black and steel, and she screamed as she cut her way up through the pines. And he swears to this day he can feel the earth shake and smell her smoke when the wind is just right. but back in the day, she was a real working horse, hauling coal out for old man Ward. They dressed her up in ribbons and sent her out of Richmond, hauling soldiers dear in the war. Some claim she wrecked and she rides these rails, hoping one day that she'll get it right. She's the ghost of Virginia, running from Raleigh to Richmond, and she just steps out of the night. So if you're ever out on the old Suffolk Road and you see the strangest of sights, she's the ghost of Virginia, running from Raleigh to Richmond, and you best stay out of her light. Yeah, you best stay out of her light. Good train song and ghost song. Train goes train, yeah. I'm drinking, this is tea. I've never been much of a coffee drinker. I used to drink Mountain Dew for breakfast. That's not a good idea either. It really works on you. Uh-oh, cat meow. I'll do another old blues song. This is an oldie. Well, let's just give the title and do it. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. Let me try that again. It's too early this morning. Once I lived the life of a millionaire. Spent my money, didn't have a care. Took my friends out for a good time. Bought moonshine liquor, champagne and wine. Then I got busted and I fell so low. Had no money and nowhere to go. If I get my hands on a dollar again, I'm gonna squeeze it till that eagle grins. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. As far as friend goes, you ain't got any. If I'm ever on my feet again, I will find my long lost friends. May seem strange, but without a doubt, nobody knows you when you're down and out. No, nobody knows you. You're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. And as far as friends goes, you ain't got any. Had a malfunction there. There we go. I think the flip got it. I've got another banjo here that I want to play for you guys. I've got a big collection of banjos, and I really don't know how many I have, but if you come to Rural Retreat and find the barber shop, a lot of them are in there. This is an 1860s, And this is one of my very favorite banjos. You know, who knows what it could talk, if you could tell. A lot different sound than what we hear now. You know, there was a lot written about in the 1850s, 60s, even up into the 1880s about the untonal quality of the banjo and how the mere sound of it would induce suicide or insanity and make you run out in the street, tear your hair out, kill 4 or 5 people. Well, this is the sound they were talking about. I hope everybody's all right. I'll do a song out of the 1840s on this old thing. This is called The Boatswain. Tells me there's more applause. Thank you. Hi. I'm doing an old Stephen Foster song on this. This was published in the 1860s, so a lot of these old tunes, the banjo, I knew them already. I didn't have to show it to them. So this is one of those. This is called the Lindy Burke. Ship with a mighty fast Campbell too. He sits up there on the hurricane deck, keeps his eye out on the crew. Well, I can't stay here for the work is too hard, I have to leave this town. I'll pack my duds and say farewell when the Glendy Burke comes down. And it's all for Louisiana, I'm bound to leave this town. I'll pack my duds and tote them on my back when the Glendy Burke comes round. Funny old crew, and they sang this boating song. They burned a pitch and a pine tar too for to shove the boat along. For the smoke comes up and the engine roars, the wheels go round and round. I'll pack my duds and take a little trip when the Glendy Burke comes down. And it's all for Louisiana, I'm bound to this town. I'll pack my duds and tote them on my back when the Glendy Burke comes round. I'll work all night in the wind and the storm, work all day in the rain, till I find myself on the levee dock in New Orleans again. They make me mow in the hayfield here, hit me in the head with a flail. I'll go where they work the sugar and the cane and they roll on the cotton bale. And it's all for Louisiana, I'm bound to leave this town. I'll pack my duds and tote them on my back when the Glendy Burke comes round. to the sunny old South, and there I'll make her stay. Don't you fret, my honey, my dear, don't you fret, Miss Brown. I'll be there before the middle of the week when the Glendenberg comes round. And it's all for Louisiana, I'm bound to leave this town. I'll pack my duds and tote them on the back when the Glendenberg comes round. And it's all for Louisiana, I'm bound to leave this town. I'll pack my duds and tote them on my back when the Glendenberg comes around. Really like the sound of that old banjo. I've had that for a number of years. I've got them from 1840 up. And like I say, that's one of my very favorite ones. And we'll go back to the 1928 here. A lot different sound. Let's see here. I work for Junior Appalachian Musicians also. I do a lot of things for a living, but Junior Appalachian Musicians is in 5 states now, and we teach around 3,000 kids a year. We're teaching traditional music, and you can check out that website, juniorappalachianmusicians.org, and working with kids is a real treat. And I mean that honestly. You know, people talk about the kids are no good in this generation. There's a lot of good kids out there. But, you know, they tend to make fun of my age. I don't think I'm that old, but they do. So they talk about it. You know, the kids are really smart, too. They'll say, well, what was Moses really like? You know, were you in high school with Moses and some stuff like that? So it always reminds me of this song. This is called The Man That Rode a Mule Around the World.
I'm the man who rode the mule around the world.
Yes, I'm that man. Well, let's see. I got about time for one more. Once again, if you feel the urge to help support the folk school, please do. It is a wonderful place, and the tradition needs to continue. I need to thank the folk school for allowing me to come to do this, and you to allow me to come. But I will learn to speak one day. I'm not used to English. It's too early, like I said. But thank you for allowing me into your home is what I'm trying to say, and tuning in. And if you are ever on Interstate 81 in Virginia on exit 60, stop in and see me. I'm easy to find. I got the only barber shop here. And when I get done here, I'm going to go get a hand biscuit and head to the barber shop. So these, I've said this a lot over the summer, what few shows I've done, I really miss playing. And it's hard on a musician when you can't share your music. So it's nice to have the opportunity to do this with you guys. But every once in a while you'll learn a song and you'll play it, and then it kind of fades out, and you rediscover it years later, and it's like meeting an old friend again. And this old friend has come back through this pandemic. Now, you all are at home. No one can hear you or see you except your spouse or your cat. So, sing with me, and just maybe this will change people's attitudes. I think so. Thank you once again. I actually enjoyed this early in the morning. Hope you guys have too. Look me up too. I'm on Facebook, and I do something every night. It's Jim Lloyd in Rural Retreat. My description says I'm Jim. This is called Keep on the Sunny Side. Thank you all again. There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and happy side too. Though we meet each day with much strife, the sunny side we also may view. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all our way. If you keep on the sunny side of life. The storm in its fury broke today, didn't it, Sam? Crushing hopes that we cherish so true. Given time, clouds will pass away. The sunny side will always shine through. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all our way. If you keep on the sunny side of life. Let us greet with a song of hope each day. Though the moment be cloudy or fair, let us trust in our Savior always, to keep us everyone in His care. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all our way. If you keep on the sunny side of life. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten
Thank you all. Everybody have a good day and a great weekend. We'll get together soon. Take care.